Cause of Tears. Okay, this is part two, right? So the play is written. Of course, it's not fine tuned, but it's written. I got my characters, I got my storyline, my antagonist, all this stuff. I got that. That's there. It's written, and it doesn't have a name yet. I'll tell you later how we came across the name of Uncross the Church's Legs. It was a family meeting. Um, but then I thought about the music, and I'm like, okay, I need music. And so once again, I fell asleep. Same exact situation. Music just started running through my brain. And again, I just started writing. I ended up with 6 songs. And I called my sister who can sing. She sang in the choir her entire life. And I told her, hey, sis, I got these words, right? I haven't really heard the melody and stuff like that, but I have these words and it's based on this play and whatever. So she put me in contact with somebody, and then the music was made. It took probably 3 or 4 days to get the music made. So at this point, I have accepted I'm a playwright and a songwriter, right? At this point. So I never even considered originally how controversial the content was. I just know that God had given it to me. And if he gave it to me, I needed to do it, right? That's it. I had never even really considered just how controversial the content was. So I started fine tuning, right? I started fine tuning the play. I'm fine tuning it, and I'm a member of a church, and I'm a very active member of this church, and this particular church. The pastor and the first lady and some of the parishioners have all been in place, huge place. I will not tell you who they are. If later on down the way they say something, then that's different. But otherwise, I won't say who it is. If you know me and you know who I went to church with, then you already know who these people are. So I decided to take my play to my pastor because this is his world, right? He's been in this world. He know how this thing works. And he was offended. He was offended by the play. And at that time, I did not know that some of what God had given me to write, he had faced. I didn't even know that. And then when I receive opposition from someone that I'm cool with, I don't like automatically go into defense mode or anything like that. I kind of try to research and see what's going on, because we cool. We got history. Like, if there's a problem, what's the problem? And so that's what I did. I went into research mode to see, like, why did he feel this way? Like, what was really going on? Like, what's popping? And so, in doing that, I discovered that parts of the play touched on things that had taken place in his life. And so that was an uncomfortable truth for him. However, it rubbed me wrong because if we're cool and you write something that touches on my life, I'm not going to make you feel like a bad person for what you have written, especially when I know that you did not know. And I say I believe in God, I'm going to actually believe that, that was from God, because how else, you didn't know. We've never had this conversation. You didn't know. So instead of doing that, he rejected. And not only did he reject my play, he was sour about it. So he kind of put it down, right? And so I thought that was very childish. And I didn't think it was cool. So at that point, I was cool, right? Like, we could still, hey, how you doing and all that stuff. But the level of trust that I had for you at first, I no longer have for you. And so that's what that relationship became. And so in the end, I ended up leaving the church and going to another church. But I was still, high, by, whatever. That's still there. And I just couldn't get any traction as a play, right? Because he was supposed to help me out in tremendous ways with this play. But since he disagreed with the content of the play, of course, he drew back his help. So I found myself once again going to God, okay, what am I going to do? You've given me this content, so what am I going to do with it, right? What am I going to do with it? And in doing that, I got the notion to make it a book, and I turned it into a book, and I was so excited, right? I found a publishing company that was willing to publish me, even though it was more self-publishing than not. And I was really excited, really excited. So I turned in all of my I turned in the book to the publishing company, and they said that it had to go through these levels of stuff that editing and page typesetting and setup and all that. I had to pick a cover, which was a fight. Let me tell you something. If you are doing a creative work, you fight for what you want. I gave in, and I don't really like the cover. And I'll show you, I'll put pictures up of the cover that I wanted, but I have to be careful because the people in that shot, I don't have their permission to use their likeness, so I'll blot out their face versus what I got. And that was because I was just so excited to do the work, and the words weren't being changed. And because that was really big to me, the integrity of the work could not be changed because it made someone uncomfortable. I was solid on that. I stood on that. I was not going to change the words of my book to make the next person feel comfortable. If you're guilty of what the book is talking about, then you need help. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it to make you feel good. So I stood firm on that part. So and I'm still talking about being surrounded by people and yet feeling so lonely, right? By the time the book is being published, I have found a job, right? In pretty much in my field, right? It doesn't pay. I wasn't even making half of what I was making before, but nonetheless, it was softening the blow of utilizing my savings, our savings. It was softening the blow, right? So there you have it. And I'm gonna stop right here, and I'm gonna start another one.